What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. It may come as no surprise to any of you, but we've got to talk about the makeup of this team. What are we looking at moving forward? Some changes need to be made. Players need to come in. Somebody's got to leave. Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Wednesday, November 24th, 2021, and I have your latest rundown of all things Juventus as per usual. Before we do anything, please go ahead and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and then also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. As always, you can find all of our social media stuff in the graphic down below. You can go check me out at Justin Sofro on Twitter. You can follow Alejandro at AlejandroBZ on Twitter and Julian Genotti at Genotti151 on Twitter as well. Also, of course, our main the media you probably got here from at Bianconeri Zone on YouTube or Twitter, Instagram. I guess YouTube's correct too. Anyway, all that's out of the way, let's just jump into the news of what we have for you today. First up is the big story that we have of the day, and that is, of course, Dusan Vlahovic, especially after yesterday. We need some Vlahovic. Gazzetta Sports reporting that Juventus want to offer 50 million euros in January for Vlahovic. Fiorentina are still shrugging their shoulders. They want 70 mil. The club is going for it because they know Dusan is interested in joining the club. In the background, there are powerful international teams from PSG to Atletico Madrid, but the particular attention to Tottenham and Manchester City, with Camiso, who for now has never opened up to Juve. So this is an interesting turn of events. Obviously interesting for multiple different reasons, but obviously Juventus is interested in Vlahovic. Vlahovic, of course, flip that around. Juventus, of course, is interested in Vlahovic. Vlahovic actually potentially may be interested in joining Juventus, wants Juventus. I don't know if it's as strong as, say, a Lukavich last year or anything like that, but that's going to play a very particularly interesting role in this and how it plays out. Also, of course, we can't leave out, though, that Camiso, his main goal, his desire is not to see Vlahovic go to Juve. Probably not to another Italian club, to be honest, but definitely not Juve. We'll see how this plans out and see if maybe Vlahovic's interest and desire in Juve maybe changes the tide and maybe allows something to happen in the January Mercato. We'll see, but we also know that Camiso is an AH, and he's going to do everything in his power to send Vlahovic to the Premier League or to somewhere outside of the jurisdiction of the Serie A and against the team that he has to go for. After what we saw yesterday, struggles on every facet of the team. Vlahovic is much needed. We need somebody who's a big-time striker and scorer, especially if that of Dybala is going to be healthy but not playing for how long. All right, let's move on to the next topic of the day, and that's regarding the midfielders. Nicolo Shira is talking about saying that confirmed Juventus wants to sign 2 new midfielders between January and next summer. Rodrigo Bentancur and Archer among the transferable players. If a good offer arrives, Ramsey is out of Allegri's plan, but his salary is high. So obviously it seems like technically the ones they're willing to sell are Rodrigo Bentancur, who after his performance yesterday, and after also Rabiot, I know Rabiot's not even mentioned in here, their performances, all of them, I'm more than happy to see go. We don't need any more of that right now at Juventus. Juventus needs to see better play than what Bentancur's bringing. I know there's a chance that Rabiot may bring something different down the line, but it's a struggle to watch and it's difficult. Ritter is one that I don't fully understand. Arthur's not getting time. He's not getting any kind of playing time or any kind of attention. I don't know if it's just something he's not showing off the pitch, if he's not showing it or just maybe in training or whatever it is. But something's going on with Arthur. He's not getting enough time. He probably should be starting. If Weston McKennie's going to continue to struggle, well, not continue to struggle, but going to be struggle for a couple matches now, now's a good time to use him in there and see how he plays. I don't understand why not doing it, but as it stands right now, there's a high potential of him end up departing if an offer comes in that's reasonable. So we'll see how that works out down the line. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. Then we move on to another target or another player that could end up leaving, and that is, of course, about Rabiot and his situation that I just mentioned. Judo Mercato Web is saying that Adrian Rabiot seems to have had his time at Juventus. The player no longer has the confidence of the coach and the club, which would put him on the market. The club is waiting for offers. The goal now is to generate a capital gain from the sale of Rabiot, a player who, from a technical point of view, has never managed to be an added value for the team of Allegri, Sarri, and Pirlo before him. I've talked about this plenty of times. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is going to be a quick video, to be honest. But when it comes to Rabiot, again, it's always a fluctuation. It's an up and down. It's an up and down roller coaster where he can never keep that. I also feel like I can't really say high level play, if that makes sense. Keep the level of play, the consistency that we see at the end of the season, and transfer that over to the beginning of the next season. It never works out. Does it have to do with the coaches leaving and coaches switching or whatever? I don't know. But at the same time right now, it's not a good look. And Rabiot isn't even seeing the progression or any kind of the build-up that I would hope to see from Rabiot at this point in the season. He's really not performing well. He doesn't seem to be doing well with Allegri. Allegri doesn't seem to even like him that much, which is kind of shocking just because the players of Ramsey, Rabiot, or whatever were the players that were coming in near the end of Allegri's stint. So I thought maybe that it would work out this time. But so far, not so good. All right, let's move on to the next part that we have here for you today, and let's talk about Zakaria. That's a Gladbach sporting director on Zakaria saying that if he signaled to us that he wanted to leave, we would be stupid not to address the issue. On the other hand, we would have to consider whether retaining him would bring us more benefits in the second half of the season. So again, we'll see what happens. It's funny how much this has changed throughout obviously just even the last month or so. It went from being Tchouaméni being the top tier target to being we're going to settle for Zakaria. And I know Zakaria is a decent player. I know he's not bad, but it just feels like settling compared to Tchouaméni. I know you have competition there. I know you have people with money, and Juventus right now doesn't have the most money. But even though Zakaria now, we're looking at him may not be an option because they're going to look at him being like, oh, he's a solid player that big teams want. We could keep him for the rest of the season. He can perform well. He could raise that value. He could perform well for our team and actually get us, successes on the field. But then not only that, but then we can try to jack up the price even more in the summer when it comes to him. And then we can try to, not only Juventus, could be a bunch of other teams as well getting involved. I mean, what do you expect the sporting director to say? Of course, they're going to want to make money off of this. That's their job. Is to make this worth something down the line. So anyway, that's how that situation seems to be panning out right now. And then let's move it on to the final topic of the day. Opta Palo brings up some of Juventus breaking records. I have a feeling they're not going to be good records. Let's go ahead. Juventus have lost a game with a margin of 4+ goals, considering all competitions for their first time since February of 2004 against Roma in the Serie A, where they lost 0-4. It's depressing. I mean, I talked about it a lot in the last video. I'm not going to try to just sit on it and think about this a lot because, again, I said going into that match, I didn't really care about the outcome. I didn't care for for a win or whatever at the time. I didn't expect a win. But if we're being honest, I didn't expect that kind of bleep show either. So it is what it is. We move on. Hopefully you get a much better performance against Atalanta. In the second half says Juventus have conceded 3+ goals against an English side in European competition for the first time since March of 2010 against Fulham, where they lost 4-1. I don't know what you want from me, guys. I think this is literally Ale, our producer, trying to make me sad and cry on here. I'm not going to cry, but I am frustrated. I guess more like just yell and scream or whatever. I did a lot of my yelling and my perturbedness a lot yesterday. It's just terrible records, terrible, not a good shift in momentum of the way Juventus is going back to 2010 to when, before Juventus has had their good streak going on. So hopefully, well, we know we're okay. Actually, we know we're outside of the good days right now. We're outside of that. They're kind of to build back up into the good days. But hopefully that'll be sooner than later. And hopefully we're not farther down the line than we think so with that issue. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. I also realized down below I had it up as review show instead of daily news show. Let's pop that up and switch up. Hey, it's the daily news show. There you go. I don't think it's bothered you guys too much. If it did, Get over it. Anyway, it is the Daily News Show. But anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you for watching the video. As always, make sure you please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as both of those really do a lot to help us with the algorithm, and also hit that bell icon so you stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you follow Bianconerizone at Bianconerizone on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at Justin Sofro, and then, like I said, Alejandro at Alejandro BZ, and Julian at Julian Genotti at Genotti151. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.